Good evening and welcome to Bendat Stadium. We are round 6 of the Open Men's Division here on day 3 of the Australian Men's and Mixed National Championships. Today's match is a 1 versus 2 on the ladder. We've got the home state, West Coast Thunder, up against the New South Wales team. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me today is Dan Cook. Dan, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me come along.
Oh, I love that you're here, finally.
Yes, finally. I am joining the broadcast.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Dan, we've got a really good matchup here tonight. Can you run us through the starting 7?
Yeah, for New South Wales, Stahilski and goal shooter. Goal attack is Lee. In wing attack, Fukadia. Centre, Miller. In wing defence, the captain, Nexhip. Goal defence is Nicholson, and in goalkeeper is Nikolic. And for Western Thunder, goal shooter, Gilbard. Goal attack, McPherson. Wing attack, Rawlings. Centre, we have Burton. Wing defence, Mather. Goal defence is Cools, and goalkeeper is Lee Tarua.
Now, interesting to note that this is the same starting 7 that finished the match last night against Victoria when West Coast Thunder had their first loss, going down by 5, 41-46. So a lot of pace through this mid-court. And obviously with Dylan McPherson out at that goal attack role, let's see what happens as we get play underway. And great touch from Miller.
Right. Not the start that you probably wanted, to be honest, especially in a 1 versus 2 match. So let's see what the Thunder can do.
Yeah, got forced quite wide along the sideline, so great work from Miller. And Mather collects an easy pass. And long connection from Lee Todua to Connor Rawlings. Rawlings is from our 23 and under program, so he aged out this year and has been elevated to the Open Men's.
And it's nice to see him actually take the physicality on, because that can be a real big gap when you come through the 23s into the Opens program. And, you know, watching him throughout the whole week, he's been fantastic at actually taking body on. And
he's used to that at a WA Netball League level. And that's a great little play by the Thunder defence. So it looks like Dan Cools will get the sideline throw-in. Be nice to see some international matchups with McPherson versus Nicholson. And Gilbard just directing traffic down there. Burton with the ball in hand. Long way from home is McPherson. Look for him to work himself into post, and he spins out. And that's Gilbard looking at the post. Oh, likes to do the little pop pass off the post. And collects his second goal for the evening.
Good patience from Thunder, I think, just working the ball to the post, not really rushing it through. It's a nice little start after the first mistake.
Yeah, and a little bit of a fumble from Connor Rawlings there. So let's see what defensive structures they put in place. Big hands over from Burton. Next hip. Finds Lee on the rescue. And all the Sky Blues are sort of pushed really up high. Lee telling Stahilski, like, get inside the circle. We need you at the post. And almost a hell ball. Lee in the pocket and... Oh, sorry, Fukadia, sorry.
Yeah, not a great start here from New South Wales. 2 love down on the scoreboard, and it's a little bit messy, really.
It really is. So which team will settle first? Oh, great little workaround from McPherson, and collects the contact from Nicholson.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
You always get a bit scared with the reaction from somebody after they cop a nice little hit. So, you know, nice to see him smile at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 3-0. Now, traditionally, throughout the week, West Coast Thunder have started really well in their opening quarters and then really sort of punished them in the second. Last night, though, they were a bit lethargic. And they were 10-1 at the first quarter.
Didn't really come out to play last night, but they did finish strongly, and that's been rewarded with today's starting lineup. So, you know.
And held ball against Fukadia, so great win defensively. Must convert, though. It means nothing if they don't get the goal, or Lee tried to stuff it.
It's nice to see Dale Mather get a start for me as well. I think he's a little bit underrated. He provides such a defensive pressure that really just kind of goes unnoticed.
And he actually had an injury pre-national, so he's only sort of just recently got the clearance, so that's probably why they've just eased him into the week, because he'll be a stayer down the back end of the tournament.
Yeah, he's actually really good. He's got great hands over pressure, really strong defensive marking, especially for wing attacks and goal attacks that don't like body pressure. So
he's dogged in defence.
Correct.
He's the guy that you love on your team and the guy that you hate when you're versing him, because he's just constant all the time. And that's what you need, you know, in these nationals. You know, you want to make a difference. And next hip, pulled out of play. Nice contact call. And look at Jamal Nicholson really tracking Dylan McPherson down. Both middies out of play. And Nikolic. Burton. Great feed into Jerome Gilbard. Called for the contact call, though.
Yeah, a bit of a hold there. I'm not sure that I saw that one either, but umpire saw something that maybe we didn't.
And it has been a call of the week where they are looking more so for the offensive contacts.
Oh, I do think the offensive contacts are sometimes there. So getting them called, it's nice, but I'm not sure on that one.
And nice little defensive footwork from Lee Todor just to make sure that Stahilski didn't get handed. Oh, Dan Cole's left alone. And clever save.
Yeah, able to save that one. Lee Todor with the backup, but Stahilski out of play.
And strong take by Mather. So really physical contest, but only really one lead to the ball. So we need to see these. Oh, whipped pass through the midcourt, but Rawlings was too quick.
Yeah, Crumbs picked up by next hit, but beautiful vision there. Oh, Stahilski not willing to have the shot.
Oh, and I wish he was confident at that because he was so, that's his range, mid-range shot. And Lee gets up, first miss of the day. And nice work around the outsides too. And Stahilski balances, has to pass out to Forcadia. Lee Todor jumps him. Oh, Eugene Lee makes them pay.
Yeah, beautiful shot there. A little bit more confidence in the first shot that he just put up with the miss. So
that's the first goal for New South Wales. So hopefully this will be the start to get their scoreboard ticking over. Oh, look. Stahilski's there, but they're just hesitant to give him that feed early, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that comes down a little bit to Eugene Lee not getting into the circle early enough to actually draw the defenders away. We saw him just get in there, effectively get the ball into the circle. But if he's doing too much on the outside, he doesn't draw a defender away. That opens Stahilski up.
Then contact for Connor Rawlings against next hip. And Rawlings and McPherson have a really good connection from a club level as well. So they'll get a opportunity to go to post. And contact call on the ball. And Gilbard goes again. That's his fourth goal for the evening.
Yeah, that tussle down there is really interesting with Gilbard on Nikolic. It's been a bit physical already. We just saw a penalty then on Nikolic. Gilbard giving away the previous one. So I'm going to be interested to see how that goes for the rest of tonight's clash.
And great job by Connor Rawlings. He's found next hit out of play a lot. And this is the Australian men's captain that we're talking about against the youngster.
Correct. I think Dylan hasn't really kind of worked out how to play against him. It's a different style that Rawlings has. Really unfortunate, a bit of a drop there. But I think because he's smart at getting off the body, creating drives down the court, Dylan's got to work really hard in his pre-work to actually stay with him and take the risk on where he's going to go.
Yeah, and what I've noticed about Next, he likes to sag a little bit and really attack the line of the ball.
Correct. Dictate what's happening, make sure that he's in the space that he wants someone to go.
But Rawlings has got that pace that puts on the afterburner, so he's got to look after him first and foremost as Lee Todor goes out for a hunt. And there's Stahilski at the back, left alone. So 5 plays 3, Thunderball. And Jamal Nichols almost had a good look in it there. Rawlings comes outside the circle. And they're just a patient build-up here. So they're happy to play on the one side. And here comes a swing pass. Yeah, got them thinking that they were going to go towards the opposite pocket.
Yeah, interesting the comments down the front end. I thought Rawlings had a really good space on the front of the circle and wasn't used then for West Coast, but the ball still got to post.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's got to get there. Forcadia. Oh, big pass to Miller. And here's Anton and Stahilski. And came out of court, so stepped out court, on court and received the ball. So that's why the call has been made. Lee Todor to the transverse line, doing his best to bring the ball down court for the West Coast Thunder. Long ball to Gilbard. And nice work by the mid-quarters to get themselves circle edge. And they're quite narrow here, playing the short game. Oh, McPherson goes quickly. And Rawlings hits the deck, gets straight back up. Playing a little bit of cat and mouse between Nicholson and McPherson. And great work, yeah, contact call against Rawlings. So next hip gets one against the ledger, against Rawlings.
Just gets one back. But that circle down in the West Coast Thunder front end, look, it's really physical at the moment.
But they're withstanding it.
They are, and it's going to be interesting to see how they can withstand that pressure.
A nice little look in. Oh, through the legs of Lee. And quick to release. And little 1-2, Rawlings and McPherson. And Gilbard strong on the baseline. He looks to offload onto the post. But he'll take the goal instead. So 7-3 in favour of the home team. And, yep, nice and patient by McPherson to get that contact call. And, yeah, contact call against Nikolic, he knew. And front position. And delivered right into the stomach area of Gilbard, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, 8-3 scoreline now. And for me, West Coast Thunder just seem very on top of whatever it is that's going on. New South Wales front end, quite frantic.
And you can see that in the way that they're playing.
Yeah, who do I throw the ball to? No one's actually kind of locking out, getting position effectively so that they can deliver a nice ball. I think that's, a struggle.
But they're almost running on top of one another as well, or they're either all high or they're all back.
Yep.
So there needs to be some offset alignment going on and balance of their court.
Yep.
But that'll come with time. They just have to adjust. They've got this has got to be a moment where they win the ball defensively and convert down the other end. So they jump the transverse line, a bit of a wall, but West Coast Thunder breaking through that really easily, and a nice shooter. Rawlings on the circle edge is just really tempting Nicholson, so you can see the head turning.
Yep.
And then that's the opportunity for McPherson to connect into Gilbard.
Yeah, for sure.
He's almost a dummy lead. And it's great to watch.
And that's what should happen in the court. You want to actually create the space so that it does open up the circle and getting them off the body.
Better passage of play. You could see Stahilski's space then.
Yeah, and he's not just on a back hold, which I think is really important. It is something that I've noticed throughout the Opens game so far as well, is that sometimes that front hold, it's been the one that's working the best, not the back hold where you're sitting in the T-bar.
It's more effective with the front hold. You can, the feeders can see you easier, you're presenting, and if the defender rolls around you by chance, then you can go for the back space. Yep. Oh, good hands by Burton over the pass. Everything just going the way of West Coast Thunder right now. And nice drive from McPherson. Look to have that connection, and here comes the front cut. Beautiful goal attack line. Just running the arc.
Yeah, and look, Dylan McPherson, such a smart player. Really known in our circles for running through the mid-court, but does have goal attack as that other option. And look, he's been fantastic the whole week as well in opening up space for Jerome. And it is something they've almost missed previously. So this is a really smart move from Lorraine Ward.
And everyone seemed a little bit shocked when we started the week because we weren't, because we see McPherson play at a domestic level in WA Netball League in goal attack. So, Gilbard almost got a touch to that. What's
good, though, is he's able to take the connection that he doesn't necessarily have from that,
and apply it
from Wannell, but he's able to apply the connection that he has in the mid-court or the Australian teams, and bring that into the space and goal attack that he has with Jerome.
Oh, I really enjoy McPherson's engine. He just goes all night long. It's so good to watch. He's definitely a role model for a lot of the youngsters over here in the West coming through.
Well, look, and sometimes that's where a goal attack can get themselves into trouble. Almost speaking from experience as well. When you get stationary, it's something that he's not going to do. And Jerome needs someone to open him up. He's so smart with creating his body, but he's not the huge tool that some other goalers are in the men's game. So
lovely wide triangle play here. Oh, great block from Nikolic. That was well timed. And just obstruction call. So next hip carries on. And long ball. Oh, Stahilski just couldn't collect at the end. And Lee Toto are getting in the way.
He's so scrappy at getting that ball. Probably the wrong... But he's just always there.
He just hustles.
That's right.
He just hustles all day long. And then, you can swing them both ends as well, which is... It's such a luxury to have in your team.
I think that the other thing is his continuous work rate, I think, is really providing a lot of attackers with problems this week.
Yes.
It's the repeated efforts that he puts in. It really makes a goaler really struggle to get a ball underneath the post.
And his connection with Dan Cools at the back there, it's a well-known, established connection.
That's been going on for a long time.
A few years
They've
now.
built that that connection up. So, New South Wales have lost their connections.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, a few changes to their team.
Yeah,
this
a couple
year.
of personnel. I did notice that at the start of the week. But in saying that, they still have most of their spine. So, with the injection of an international with Jamal Nicholson from England, that just adds something different to their mix. So I'm excited to see what they do. All the men's teams sort of play each other twice, and really the tournament starts in round 2, doesn't it?
Well, it kind of does. It's the mind games that the coaches put out there, the teams on the court put out there. Sometimes you don't run your full team to its full ability, and sometimes you do. You need to save legs. Maybe you need a position in the top 2. I wouldn't be taking Queensland or SAFA finishing fourth lightly. That could be a damaging spot. And, Victoria's still in it with the win over Western Australia last night.
Yes, they are.
At the moment, these two teams are definitely playing for the not just the top 2 spot, but staying out of that third position.
That 3rd and 4th playoff. That elimination playoff end.
That's right.
Lee goes quickly. Oh, great balk from Miller, and finds Stahilski. Draws the obstruction call. And finishes with a goal. So 15 seconds left to play, plenty of time. Christine Johnson knows well enough what these guys are trying to do. Can they get it into the connection? Not our buzzer.
Not able to find.
Stahilski? No. And a bit of it sort of sums up the story of the first quarter, really just ending a little bit scrappy.
Yeah.
But West Coast Thunder in the lead, 12 goals to 8. Mixed kind of minutes, sort of the first 5 back and forth. Middle 5, the team started to settle, but I'm looking forward to the second quarter, and hopefully someone composes themselves and really puts their foot down.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Interesting, no changes have been made even through the scrappiness. So both coaches are letting the teams kind of settle into the game and seeing what it is. New South Wales definitely have their structures that they like to run. So it's interesting to see them just continue to put out the same kind of netball. Didn't really feel like anything changed for them. They were just able to keep hold of the ball and open their space up more effective towards the end of the quarter. Western Australia, I just think, looked steady throughout the whole quarter, and just some silly errors at the end kind of made the turnovers that we probably didn't need to see happen.
Absolutely. So stay tuned with us as we come back with the next quarter just after this. Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association Championships 2023, proudly supported by Bladen WA, Great Temptation Sweet Treats, Spudshed, West Coast Fever and Netball WA. West Coast Thunder are proudly sponsored by Forte Physiotherapy, WA Sports Performance, Spudshed, Subiaco Sports Massage, the Wembley Hotel, Fresh Frontier and Smelsea by Chelsea. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium. We have a bit of a thriller on our hands. The home team currently leading 12 goals to 8 against the Sky Blues in New South Wales. My name is Mandy Love and joining me is Dan Cook. Dan, what do the Sky Blues need to do to get this game back into contention?
You know, I think at times they looked frantic throughout the first quarter and settling themselves down. Using the triangles around the outside of the circle, trying to open up Stahilski would be great. I'd like to see Eugene Lee get into the circle a little more and maybe just up the defensive pressure. We saw Nikolic take some balls towards the end of the quarter against the Thunder, so I think there's a couple of ways that they could improve.
And that's a nice little shooter-to-shooter connection between Lee and Stahilski as he gets this score going and underway. Rawlings quick out from the line, finds Gilbert. Long has to go back to the transverse line. Oh, and just pops open, does McPherson. That's a great feed from Rawlings.
Yeah, he just snapped. Crept himself in through the back, saw the open space and was able to get it back there. Now drawing the penalty on Nikolic just to score the goal, but it's a smart read of the space that's there. I'm not usually a fan of slipping into the back, but you know, when the space is there, got to take it.
Yep, absolutely. And Dan Kuhl's getting a touch to it. And I think for me, if Stahilski's going to stay on the hold, he really needs to post up and let Eugene Lee run around him, because he just keeps moving and he's almost confusing the space for the goal attack. Yeah,
it is a bit mismatched and he's not really sure when it is that he needs to be on the hold. But I'd like to even see him put his arm up, ask for the ball, start to dictate, take control of the circle, instead of just letting Eugene just do the running movements. I think it's really hard for the midcourt to see where he is.
What space he's wanting the ball.
Yeah, so I'd like to see him maybe get a little bit more chesty and open up the space, make it easier to find him and almost demand the ball so that the midcourt are willing to put that ball in and take some control in that circle.
And Nicholson out of play, so 2v1 in the circle if they can utilise it. And McPherson very smart to get in that front position in front of Nicholson to draw the contact. And just dropping the pass off to Gilbert.
Very, very traditional play from Western Australia. That's been something that we've come to see out of them year in, year out, is that smart, sneaky little goaler-to-goaler. So still in use for them.
A nice roll from Stahilski. Oh, Lee Totoa got up high. Missed attempt from Stahilski. Oh, Burton attacking the circle on circle edge.
Yeah, fantastic drive from Stu Burton.
Oh, ball from Gilbert. Drew them and then just flicked it out of his hands and missed attempt by McPherson. And quick down court through Forcadilla with the ball in hand. Has to play it back. And Lee Totoa takes flight. And it finds its way to Stahilski.
Yeah, better set there from Stahilski. I think New South Wales able to just find the ball to circle edge, but he was there and available.
And this is a great start. Stahilski's shot all three of New South's goals this quarter. So really want to see him do more shooting work from him, more volume. Nikolic out of play as Gilbert collects another goal. So 15 plays 11. Oh, that's the one that I'd like to see Lee Totoa go for a flyer, that one down the line.
I agree. That ball sits up in the air for a real long time. I'd really like to see him just have a crack. He's got the speed to do it.
And normally he does. And great lean over the shot from Eugene Lee, and that's a held ball, no goal.
Good defensive pressure there from the Thunder. And let's see, I'd like to see them move that ball down a little bit through the court faster. I think there could be some more preparation done.
And that was a quick in and out. Wish McPherson had a go at it though. He's in his range. And Gilbert just dropping it off. And McPherson, that's his second goal for the quarter. Yeah,
great body positioning there from McPherson as well. He might be small in stature, but he's definitely able to know how to hold his space and what the right space on the court is to get that ball.
Forcadilla doing some good work defensively. Just getting his little deflection. And Burton controls the ball in his fingertips. Miller out of play. And Burton again finding circle edge really nicely. You know, this week Burton's been more of the shutdown wing defence.
Yeah, he has. Look, he can still shut down in centre.
Yes.
That defensive pressure is hugely valuable, and I haven't really noticed Miller too much as well tonight. So I think he's doing the right amount of work defensively. And
I must admit, Miller was huge in the earlier game today against South Australia. He was in everything. Oh, nice little cutback from Forcadilla. Finds Lee. And finds himself closer to post. And it just creeps in for Eugene Lee.
Yeah, a little too early probably just to sit back in the sink onto Stahilski. I don't know that he's finding enough high ball into the circle to warrant a double back.
Contact call on Dylan next hip there as well. So he's actually coming across the top of the shoulder of Connor Rawlings, which is drawing the contact. And because Rawlings is a bit slight of frame, it's very obvious.
Yeah, correct. But it's because he's also coming off the body at the right time as well, making the change of direction, doing the prelim work as well. It makes it easy for the umpire to see, whereas if you just run straight lines and keep it simple, that's what Dylan's actually waiting for you to do, really. That's his bread and butter, and that's how he actually gets the calls going the other way.
So it looks like Nicholson has just come off and Price has come on in the goal defence bib. So looking for some changes early. Let's see what difference he can make. So Miller will have the penalty, and screen set by Lee. Bit of a role reversal there. And just finding it over the top, over the back space.
Yeah, beautiful triangle towards the top of the circle. Just opens up, Stahilski's able to hold in that side hold, which makes it easier for, once again, he dictated then, asked for the ball in that space. Just like I probably called for. Make sure that you're wanting it there.
And have to go parallel across court. So need to get the angles going. Nice job defensively by New South, just forcing them up high, indirect box set. So all defence is in the middle channel, sort of forcing out, and just mistimed pass, looking for the dodge back and didn't arrive from McPherson. So New South Wales with the ball. And looking at running that bit of that space marking through the middle, so mid-court press, but no one actually hunting or having a go at it. So easy transition from the New South Wales team. And Price offloads to Forcadia.
Nice touch there.
Yeah, footwork call. Yeah, he took the third step.
I think this one's important for Thunder to kind of capitalise on and make sure that the ball...
Miller's not having it.
Yeah, disappointing there from Thunder not to actually bring that ball through the court.
Oh, Cool's unlucky. Thought he had a good shot at that. Oh, thought about it and couldn't get the offload.
Not happy with that. The no call there, Eugene Lee. I don't know that there was anything too big called. And I like the contest.
I like the contest too, but it's one of those things where it feels like nothing seems to be going your way.
Yes.
And even though it's only a 5-goal difference, it might feel like 10 to them because everything for them is challenged, and that is a heavy check. Even though he got it, that's smart by Rawlings to protect his body.
He is, and he's doing the work first to kind of almost draw it. We saw before that it was a dodge, and then the next movement is slightly different. It's not always the same thing, keeping next hip guessing, and that means that he's going to be late onto the ball.
I'm very impressed by Connor Rawlings. I think he's having a fantastic game.
Yeah, I agree. Missed
attempt by Dylan McPherson, though. So here come the Sky Blue. What can they do? New South. And just the obstruction call against Burton. Yep, and Lorraine Ward encouraging her guys, wanting more defensive pressure. Back to basics. It's
nice to see her animated and standing up, though. With the box that we have here now, it's fantastic to see her getting up and encouraging and putting the gusto into the team.
Love the substitution box. Love the fact that the coach can kind of wander up and back and just pace, because that's sometimes what happens, and that's a calming influence.
It's nice to see some animation sometimes out of your coach, not always just sitting there steel-faced.
And that's another miss for New South.
Next hip read that really well. He just saw that coming from a mile away. The ball sat up too long for me.
And that's what I'm used to seeing from him, is that he hunts early, so he hasn't had a chance to do that, as Lee Totoa just cleans up the mess at the back. Carry knew it as soon as he caught it too.
I think those ones come from the drive being really flat coming down the court. It's really hard to actually work out where to put the ball for someone, and you kind of just trust your instinct, let it go, but it doesn't really allow for someone to run onto it.
And Lee Totoa gets a touch to it, so it'll be a New South feed.
Hops on him are fantastic. You just don't know where to put the ball.
And as we say, he's the one that comes up with the ball in hand and gets them long through one pass alone. So has to play it back, change the direction from Rawlings. And look at McPherson just running them ragged a little bit with the little change of direction and footwork, fancy footwork around. And next hip meets Burton. And nicely played by McPherson, who offloads to Gilbert right in the gut.
From my point of view, I feel like Ruling's constant workload is actually making the defenders for New South Wales have to stay with their own player.
Absolutely.
Nexip's trying to hunt everything down or get his hands to a ball, but it's also making Rulings free all the time. And it's this easy outlet option that's opening up the space for Western Australia.
And that's the thing, Nexip can't do what his normal strength is to hunt, because Rawlings has just been so dominant on the line. And look at Dylan McPherson, he's like, keep going, keep running.
Yeah, loud.
Yep, he's like, you run, I'll go back. And look, and in the back play, you see Jerome Gilbert just flirting on the outside, so you know he's going to pop out depending on what side the ball comes out. He couldn't save it. McPherson just directing traffic. Working really, that's a really good defensive pressure from the front end. We love to see an attacking unit defend. And I like what you said about Burton. He really is trying to do that shutdown work early as well, isn't he?
But he's doing it a little bit higher than probably where you see most centres doing it. He's really working through the centre third and stopping the drive onto the circle edge, and it's actually quite impressive.
They had to work really hard for that. I didn't want to take a look at that goal attempt. Eugene Lee comes off the arm. That was a nice pull-in from Stalhilski. Yeah,
the split circle from the West Coast Thunder, really impressive at the moment. It's definitively delaying the ball in from New South Wales, and I think it's giving them a lot of headache, and they're unsure of where to put that ball.
And what I'm really excited about is that this is still a relatively even quarter, so it's 7-6 at the moment in the second quarter.
Yeah, the margin's out at 5. I agree with you. I feel like it could still be anyone's game. It's a couple of turnovers, but West Coast Thunder are just steady.
Yep. They come here with the sole purpose of making the grand final this year, and not only making it, but taking it out.
Yeah, how nice would it be for them to take out the championship as well? It's definitely going to be a reward for all the hard work. It's not just 1 year's worth of hard work that the Thunder team has gone through, but multiple years going from 5th spot in the Opens division, really, with a lot of this group making their way through.
They've gone through some really lean years,
correct,
really tough years, where they just had to grin and bear it, really. But I think this is the first year where they feel like we've actually got the depth in the squad, in the 12 that are here this week, to really make an impact in finals netball. Lee goes so quickly. Lee Todua. The shooters are really perplexed at the moment.
Yeah, that's a hard one. But if you've got to take that 2 ball, you don't want to take it straight above your head, because that's where the defender comes in and takes the ball or gets their hands to it, and that's probably the issue with that one. If you've got to take it out in front,
you've got to take your feet through the ball.
Yeah, correct.
And it's one of those things that they can't get too caught up on this, or the call or versus the non-call. They just have to get on with it. So they've got to make the adjustments in the game according to the call that's in front of them.
Yeah, you can change the skills that you're putting out onto the court. If that ball's straight up in the air, you've got to actually get yourself onto it and take it.
And contact call against Miller on the arm. Just acknowledging the umpire's call. And screen set by McPherson, but not used, so has to play it back. Rawlings couldn't save it. Almost takes out the umpire.
Yeah, defensive pressure from Nexip slightly different then. He really dictated the space into where Rawlings run, and that was then a straight line drive and made it hard for him to take that ball in.
So 21 plays 14, Mather out of play. And I did say last night, I did fear the team that the West Coast Thunder had to verse today after the Victorian match. So I'm not surprised that they've come out so strong today. And they had the bye this morning, so they've had probably all morning to sort of sit on it and really just come out firing today. Yeah,
and look, that's always a hard position to be in when you've got the last bye, because you've then gone backed up 2 games on the first day, along with a game in the morning of that second day. The feeling of the body, it's hard when you've got the 2 days worth of 2 games in a row.
And, we have the substitution box to have those rolling subs, and that's great for sort of player management in terms of minutes on, minutes off, just to try and look after the body. But in this division, it is such... the pace of it alone is just so quick, and the impact that these players take when they're landing the catch every time.
But you can be off the body, and the landing alone sometimes of a high-paced netball game is
enough.
Correct. It's hard. It wears the body out, even just from the warm-up. All the way through that intensity.
Next hit coming through. So she's advanced him. And giving him the caution for his effort.
Yeah, interesting contact and causing the delay. So taking that to the top of the circle. Thunder with the opportunity just to put it through. Smart move there from Gilbert as well.
And gets his 5th goal for the quarter. So 23 plays 15 in favour of the home team, West Coast Thunder. You know, what can the New South Wales team do at the halftime break just to discuss how they can bring themselves back into this match? And, you know, how do West Coast Thunder just keep on pushing on and extend this lead out if they can? So stay with us. We've got another quarter on just shortly after this.
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch. And it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg.
At Spot Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
Forte Physiotherapy has been providing physiotherapy services and rehabilitation services for West Coast Thunder since inception. We are a proud sponsor of this athlete group and look after many athletes and general population in the clinic. If you have an injury or a chronic pain, see the professionals at Forte Physiotherapy. You can book an appointment online at www.fortephysio.com. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium here in Western Australia. We have the home state, West Coast Thunder, up against New South Wales in the Open Men's Division. It's round number 6, day 3 of the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. West Coast Thunder currently leading 23 goals to 15. They had an impressive second quarter, 11-7. So that's how they've maintained their 23-15 lead. My name is Mandy Love and joining me is Dan Cook. Dan, thoughts on the first half? Any changes for either side?
Yeah, look, I think the first half just was really quite steady from the Thunder. They were great. New South Wales looked quite erratic at different times. At times they were able to set themselves down, get the ball to post, really work their triangles, but it was just inconsistent. So a couple of changes pulled by New South Wales. 23 representatives from last year, Jack Vandervelde and Nathan Gurmick, come onto the court to replace Eugene Lee and Joe Miller. So interesting changes, bring some youth on, get them some experience. Maybe they're going to bring something different that Western Australia really haven't seen before. The West Coast Thunder, Mitch Purser comes on into wing attack, moving Rawlins into centre, and Burton goes to the bench.
And automatically can see just the speed in that circle. Like, Gurmick really prepared to do the work.
Yeah, look, and sometimes that's what happens when you bring youth onto the court. You've got to bring the new blood through at some stage, put them on in stressful situations, really. It is slightly not as stressful as what it could be, but it is a stressful situation. You're competing for the first, second, third spot here, down by 8 goals. You've got to make a turnaround for your team.
And that's a really timely intercept by Nikolic right there. So now the New South Wales has to make them pay. Next up, the long bomb into Stahilski, and gets a goal for the Sky Blues to start off in the third quarter. Vandervelde steps in, Gurmick wide. And again, having these changes in positions also makes it difficult for the West Coast Thunder, because they've got into a bit of a groove in that first half as they get a bit of a touch early, and Gurmick so quick. Yeah,
he likes to move the ball around the court, and he's got really good vision as well, but he's also making the attempt to get into the circle quickly. And I think that's really helpful.
And I thought Eugene Lee was quick, but he's incredibly quick. And steady hands from Mitch Purser. So finding Rawlings to get himself on, has to go back. Contact call against Gurmick. So just patient netball. There's a 2-on-1 versus Gilbard.
It's just interestingly, watching the tussle now between Rawlings and Vandervelde is going to be interesting. I think it's a different body shape. Rawlings is going to have to do something different, and he really struggled to get himself free on the last one with someone that's maybe a little bit more speedy and willing to run with him solely. So interesting to see how that one folds out.
It's almost like Vandervelde has a very much a tagging role.
Yes.
In that centre. And I actually watched him play in all 3 positions in the last game, so it's great to see his versatility for New South Wales. Oh, close to a held ball. Next hip just steps up. That's an interesting matchup with Mitch Purser as well against next hip.
I don't know whether it suits Mitch. I think it might bring Dylan into the game. I'm interested to see how that works, because Mitch is a bit smart, likes to sit off, but he's not usually losing a lot of people, and we can just see it there. It's a lot more of a longer lead, which I think sits into Dylan's hands.
His is more so about the timing, and and as we say that, you get the call on next hip with the contact call to get the timing and the smarts from Purser.
Yeah.
Oh, and as I say that, every time that's happened to me this week, something's always happened.
Great pull in there from Jermick, just getting the ball, pulling that in through the air.
Mather acknowledging his role on that. He is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a constant change. I didn't get the first one. I didn't get the second one. I'll take the third one. That's not an issue for me. And that constant workload has just opened up the circle. New South Wales really putting the last 3 on the scoreboard.
That repeated effort.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. You know, they bring themselves within 5 now, so this is a critical moment here for West Coast Thunder. We see Stuart Burton in the back play, and contact call against Jerome Gilbard, use of the hip backing in. So, you know, just from my observations, this referee down right of screen really looking at the attackers and how they're setting up in terms of when... Oh, Purser!
Snuck through. A little bit complacent there from Cam Price on the outside, like just bringing the ball through the court, but Purser able to sneak through.
And here's where the goalers really have to be smart down this end with their body angles and body positioning. They can't sort of look to almost burrow in to get that body positioning. Smart play by McPherson. Has to go out, kicks it out. And, yeah, a little shovel pass to Gilbard. And that gets the West Coast Thunder on the board in the third. What I really enjoyed about the Thunder shooting circle is that they're sharing the workload pretty evenly. New South Wales sort of solely relying on Stahilski in the first half, but Germich has made a great job of coming in and coming through as we speak of him. He's just coming through for a bit of a deflection. And there goes next hit for the Hunt. He's got to keep it in, does so.
Yeah, I think they've really lost, if I'm going to say this, the height that Stu Burton has. I never thought I'd really probably actually say that, but I think he just gives it's he's still a 6 foot tall centre, and it's just that extra option that's probably a little bit easier to find.
He's also got a great elevation on him too.
Correct.
So he's got the good change of speed, plus the elevation and the sort of attacking chops to really feed that circle.
And I feel like Thunder are finding it really hard. Once you bring Purser on into wing attack, they're just dropping down in size, and I feel that New South Wales are able to get hands-up pressure at the moment that's creating problems for West Coast Thunder.
I agree. I really do agree. And it really only is appearing in this match at the moment because he has been really impressive in previous games this week. Oh, great entry from McPherson. I wish he would turn to post. You know what? That deserved a stop. Oh,
Coles
gets around the body. Oh, and look at Nikolic. Yeah, right around the body, inside the circle. Look for the offload.
Interesting change to their structure on that play is to bring Jerome up through the centre. I really like when they used to do this with Stewie Dent as well, and actually get the high penalty, let it be reset up, and it's just an easier option. And especially when you're not the huge tall shooter,
you've got to be smart. You've got to have that level of creativity within your shooting circle versus just constantly kicking it out.
Yeah, correct. Creating that penalty on that circle edge means that you can set yourself up against the other defender. You get to choose your spot, and that was a smart play previously by the Thunder.
I wonder if there is a strategic move by West Coast Thunder to run through next hip in terms of getting the contact and drawing contact from him.
Yeah, I think you can probably do that against any one of their back three, to be honest, is actually taking them, create that circle edge or just inside the circle penalty, and that's going to open Jerome up a little bit under the post and get the double movement and create some space. At the moment, it's really hard to find him. He's not
as effective as what we're used to seeing because he hasn't been allowed to play than his natural game.
Yeah, correct. And he doesn't necessarily have the height at the moment. I think it's hard for the Thunder to actually find his space because there's a little bit of a sag going on as well. And finding the space to put the ball in, whilst it's able to be done, it's harder.
And Gilbert delivers another goal. So it's a 4-3 quarter so far. The 27 plays 21, so 6-goal lead and a West Coast Thunder feed on the sideline.
Yeah, great pressure there from McPherson. Just ball slipping through Price's hands, and I think the Thunder really need to actually convert this. Vandervelde.
And she thought she was going to blow it for footwork. Held off.
Yeah, the speed of Germick there, just getting into the post, turnover ball. I'm straight away down there under the post by himself.
It's been a very smart change from the New South Wales coaching staff to introduce Germick into the match. And it's interesting to see what West Coast Thunder's back three do in order to try and stop his game, his natural game. And Lee Todua comes out with a bit of a volleyball loop. Just so impressive. His read on the game and closing speed is amazing. Oh, right idea. The execution, not quite there.
a bit off with the execution there. Still able to retain possession. I'd call that a bit lucky.
Very lucky. And just called for the contact call here. And we've got Blundell in the substitution box with the goal defence bib on. So it looked like for another change maybe for Price, maybe keeping the legs fresh. And look at this little tussle here. Wish he would just shoot sometimes instead of going off the post.
Oh, he can shoot. That's the damaging thing too. Sometimes when you look at it as a goaler, like Jerome, put the ball up.
Does he need the extra second to put the ball up, or is he just getting it so he gets an additional 3 seconds? So 6 seconds for a goal seems a bit much.
I'm not sure if that's a caution.
No, I think it was
just a
bit of a chat saying, hey, let's just
clean it up.
Clean it up now. It's all elbows in that circle right now, isn't it?
Very much so.
Oh, good hands from Price, though.
Yeah, I'd like to see Jerome just get stronger with his body and block it out a little bit more, like wider legged as well. It's really narrow and straight up and down, and get his legs slightly wider. Take the extra step.
And what we're seeing here, though, is that he's constantly on the move, having to reposition. So you'd want to see him just plant.
Yes.
Just be really strong in his positioning and keep that body nice and tall, upright, and use the shoulders to hold his ground.
Yep.
Easier said than done,
Oh,
though.
very much so.
Yes.
But it's also something you can watch back and see when it does happen as to what small little changes you can make to really open up your own space.
Yeah, Stuart Burton given a caution for a bit of a heavy collision against Vanderveld. Vanderveld pops straight back up. Time is held at 4 minutes and 46 just to wipe up the perspiration.
This was always one of my favourite times during a match of an open men's game. Like someone fall over onto the floor. I mean, I was lucky enough to have Andrew Simons, who always was on the floor. So there was a lot of mopping up to be done. But, just get that little bit of a breather. This game moves so quickly, so it's sometimes quite helpful.
And sometimes it's a good way just to change momentum.
Yep.
Swing it back towards your home team's way. Oh, missed shot from...
Oh, nice flick.
Flick shot. So will that go down as Lee Totowa's goal?
It goes down as a goal for Stahilski.
Okay.
He's the one that tapped it back into the court. So, take a crack. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
If it's going out.
And good hand over pressure. Gilbert strong. Would like to see him turn to post.
What that turn to post will do, though, is push the defenders back. Either to defend the shot, or if not, it might actually just open everything out and he gets a different angled ball through to the post. So I'd like to see him do the full turn, just to kind of create it and see what it does. Maybe just change the defender's thought process on that as well.
Because they're not actually going to post because they know that he's going to kick it out to the circle edge. A nice defensive switch. Oh, missed him. He opened up on that last second. Good cover with the box D here from the West Coast Thunder. They're swinging it, just keep moving ball side. Oh, the pass from Forcadia cannot be underestimated. That pass was brilliant.
It was, but it's also the work rate of doing stuff on the outside of the circle, but knowing if that circle is open and really taking the chance at getting yourself in there.
Yeah, he took the risk.
Paying dividends.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's attacking that into that circle, and look, every goaler should be wanting to score, and he's getting the ball close to the post.
So what do the Thunder boys do here? Oh, good ball from Connor Rawlings. Oh, just shoot the ball. They're further out and they got the turnover.
Yep.
So opportunity gone begging.
Yeah, look.
And look, Lorraine Waters on her feet. I can tell you right now, she will be filthy at her front line right now.
Yeah, look, I know McPherson's missed a whole heap. Silly turnover, but he's missed a few earlier in the game. But a goaler needs to put the ball up and keep the defenders guessing. That's probably what's not happening at the moment.
And it's
defenders
allowing...
they get the ability just to sit off and go, I don't have to worry about that shot. Put the ball up. Get yourself in a good space. Put the ball up. Trust your instincts. You're in the goal circle for a reason.
And it's funny because they still have a 7-goal lead, but it feels like the momentum is with New South Wales right now.
Little late there from Blundell. Crowd was a bit not happy. Yeah,
Rawlings is a crowd favourite here in the West.
Smart play there from Gilbert just to open the space up. Playing the front space made it really easy. That triangle opens up to post. And a smart placement also from McPherson as to where he sat on the court to open it up.
Oh, Forcadia, middle lane. Nice little flick pass from Stahilski. Quite enjoyed that. Oh, dribbles out of the post, so he collects his rebound. And that's really important as a shooter. Like, if you do miss it, you must collect the rebound.
I think that's the hands over pressure, or the work that Draven does inside the circle, that constant workload.
That's 3 in a row that Stahilski's missed. But I like the fact that he's still going for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, if you're a goaler, put the ball up.
Mid-court press here by the New South Wales team, and Rawlings long down the far side. Sizable mismatch between McPherson, and he's got a bit of a stinger. Blundell not happy with the call. Cautioned. And look at Tal Mather down the sideline. He's like, send him off.
Yes.
Oh, good hands by Nikolic.
Look, I also think Nikolic is really impressive in the work rate that he has done. Played 23s a couple of years ago for New South Wales, down the other end in goal shooter.
He did.
It has transitioned into the keeper role, but I think his body's position, his footwork, he's getting around, he's confusing space really well. So really impressive in this open series from him.
And he's gotten a few offensive contact calls against the Australian men's shooter in Jerome Gilbert. So that alone is impressive, but, need more work and footwork call on the land. Much to...
That's a really big jump.
And, 17 seconds left to play. Can they send it? And look at the physicality inside that circle.
Yes, it's there.
Oh, and the place pass. Yep, gets the contact call. Got to go. Must put him up. Oh, long bomb. Oh.
Yeah, not the urgency probably that West Coast Thunder needed in to find and open up the space. Would have liked to have seen them set up. Just give Jerome some ability to some space so that the ball could be put into him.
And that was a 9-9 quarter. So the New South Wales team really kept them contained in that quarter. So I would like to see the West Coast Thunder come out with a really attacking mindset and going direct to post versus opting for these pass outs when they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, it is a low scoring game though. We look at maximum 10 goals per team per quarter, really 11 in a couple. It's not a high scoring game, so the defensive pressure from both teams
is immense. It's huge.
Is making it really hard. So you got to do the damage when the damage can be done, and that's on those turnover balls. And I don't know that it's being converted effectively for New South Wales.
Absolutely. So stay tuned with us. We've got the final 15 shortly after this. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium here. It's round 6 of the Open Men's Division. We've got the final 15 minutes of netball to play here between West Coast Thunder and New South Wales. The home state currently up 32 goals to 24. My name is Mandy Love. Joining me tonight is Dan Cook. Dan, what are your thoughts on the third quarter?
Look, even quarter, realistically, it's such a low-scoring game. I think it's really hard for both teams to get the ball to post. There's also a little bit of hesitancy from West Coast Thunder to put the ball up. I'd like to see them take that ball to the poster and open the game up. I think they could have done so in that last quarter.
And McPherson looks in. Oh, just has backed up though, and luckily they'll get a sideline throw in. Mather steps up. Eugene Lee looks like he's on in the wing attack role. And looks like Stuart Burton has moved into centre. Oh, Nicholson keeps it in. And Liam Forcatier collects. So patient approach by New South Wales right now. Oh, nicely done by Stahilski. And great shot to start off the match.
Yeah, quick work rate in and out of the circle, but that's also changing the pattern and making West Coast Thunder have to think about something different. I think that's a really good option from him.
And time is temporarily held as the ball from court 2 creeps across. And long bomb. And next hip connects in with Stahilski.
Yeah, interesting that the change for West Coast Thunder with the two defenders switching positions. I don't know that that's going to pay dividends now and allow for Anton to have a different matchup that's going to allow an easier option to the post.
It is if Lee Turtle gets caught up with Lee outside the circle. They traditionally come in and use the pulley system in defence.
Yeah, but ball's gone in really early, though, so far. Next hips let the ball go in really quickly. Then I think that matchup could do some damage if it's not looked after correctly,
well,
unfortunately.
What I'm really excited about, though, as McPherson steps in to take this goal, is that it is, missed attempt, is that it's an Australian defensive circle up against sort of an Australian front line with Lee and Stahilski down there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's called it the other way. No, he hasn't. He's corrected himself. Lots of hearts were in their mouths right then. Oh,
great vision.
And the outlet pass. One pass down in the goal third. And that's what happens when you have Lee Todor in at goal defence. He's got this beautiful wind-up pass that just whips through court. Nice triangle work as Jerome screens for McPherson and block. And Nikolic called out a play.
I'd like to see Dylan take that.
I think
be confident, just because it doesn't make the defender say yes. I have to defend you. I think that can sometimes be the problem with it. It doesn't show confidence in the fact that I can put the ball up from underneath the post.
Nice.
And whilst it could be a little bit safe.
Yes, it's definitely safe. And sometimes I think they just need to get the scoreboard ticking off. Nicely weighted pass. And finds Stahilski. He's been their main point guy all day. Almost with a stutter stop set drive, wasn't it? And more direct passage of play. Oh, wish he would take it. Contact call, wasted opportunity here. He had a chance at post and another opportunity gone begging for me for West Coast Thunder.
Agreed. Oh.
Very fortunate to get this ball right now.
Very. I think just need to look after that ball, New South Wales, and make sure it comes through the court. And none of the flicky passes. Doesn't have to be special. Just need to put the goals on the scoreboard.
Just simple netball done well.
And that's why we train. Week in, 2 to 3.
Oh, Nicholson.
I love his attack on the ball.
Yes.
Just to really take the chance and see if that ball's flying through the air, just to stick the hand out, I'll have a crack at it. Because he's got a few in this game as well.
Absolutely he has. And he's doing all the things right. He's going with the right intention and the right intensity. And that one was just a collection, of bodies. Oh, yeah, Christine Johnson just telling them, she's not having a bar of it.
No
Next
more.
one. And, you can't argue with the team in white right now. They could either make or break your game.
Oof.
And Matha caught out a play there. Oh.
Yep, sorry, that's me.
And Lee finds Stahilski.
Yeah.
I quite like Lee out in wing attack. I think he offers the front line something different in terms of speed off the line.
Look, and his ball skills on the outside of the circle does have a connection in with Stahilski as well. So getting that back onto the court, I think is a great option. Jermac's been opening up the space inside the circle to find Stahilski. It's a really good start for them in this quarter.
And a little bit of a box set up by New South Wales here. Oh, Nicholson comes through. That was unlucky. I thought he had a really good attack on that.
Yeah, I think it's on Forcadia on the outside of the circle.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a muchness. Centre wrapping, wing attack with the arms out as well. I think we always call the defenders too much for those balls that are on the outside of the circle. It's a little bit both ways.
At least they know where they stand, though, right now. So, it's very clear instructions. So now let's see if they make the adjustment.
Yeah, make the adjustment.
And nice cut off by Draven Lee Todor and just snatches it out of the air. It's a great job. Can they convert this pressure into points? Purser goes quick. And everyone in the crowd, shoot it, shoot it. And nicely done as they get that break. So 36 plays, 28. So we're out to an 8-goal lead. Probably the biggest of the game so far.
Yeah, it takes it back out to that 8-goal lead, and I think that's a really important thing for the Thunder to continue to keep thinking of it. Keeping it that 8 goals will help them get through the rest of this game.
Needs to look in. Wish McPherson actually attacked that baseline, and he does.
Smart play from Gilbert there, just to spin around, make the defenders actually go for something. Like, it actually comes from looking to the post almost first. That time he did it, wasn't something there, was able to spin around, and that opened up McPherson under the post.
I think that was an offensive contact against Lee. Yeah, they've got to get off the sideline now. They're very narrow here, the West Coast Thunder, as a result of the immense defensive pressure from New South. And little 1-2 stepping call it was on the carry.
Yeah.
And, you know, Gilbert doing a smart play. This gives an opportunity down the court for them to set up.
It does. It just delays the play a little bit in a way that you want to, not in I'm a caution.
Way.
That's right. But it helps you set up your defensive pressure. And sometimes that can just be nice so that the ball doesn't move through the court so quickly.
This has been a much better quarter by both sides. They just really found their rhythm here. I'm really enjoying that, like the strong, hard contests each time that someone's going for the ball. Oh, whipped ball through. New South Wales feed on the baseline. And look at them jostling for position on the outsides of the circle.
Yeah, good reset there.
Yeah, they didn't look over the top because they knew Lee Toto was at the back. Oh, nicely passed from Lee.
But again, that's Stahilski on the matchup with Dan Cools at the back, and it was not an easy option that they had in the previous 3 quarters, but New South Wales are able to find that one with Dan Cools being on the matchup with Stahilski, and I think that's still a little bit dangerous.
Well, let's see how it plays out. They've got 7 minutes of netball to play. McPherson realising that he was able to get a drawn contact. Next hit out of play. And they're both shooters like almost crowding the same space.
Yeah, with the mid-quarters as well at the top of the circle, it's all really in one spot. It's then hard to, when that ball goes out, to find somewhere else to go where the next ball option is. I think that's causing problems.
And it's really easy for New South Wales literally just to stand on the outside and just box them in.
Yep.
And contact call against Matha. Forcadia strong in the body, bracing the call.
It's almost a good penalty there because it actually needed to make New South Wales reset themselves up on the outside of the circle. That ball would have gone straight into Jurek then. You know, they are able to score, but it does delay the time that it takes.
Inevitable,
yeah, that's right.
Just interrupts the rhythm. Gilbert out of the circle, not needed. Oh, Lee getting in the way. Matha looks so sore running to get the ball. He's in no rush, is he?
No need, really.
But that's the smarts as well, like having that game sense awareness.
Yeah.
Oh, Nicholson, great job. He's been really great since he's come on in that goal defence role. I haven't seen him run out a full 60 yet, but I think that might come out in finals time if this team is to make the top 4. Oh, Jermick, great rebound. It's been a little quiet though.
Yeah, this quarter, a little quiet. Maybe that comes from the pressure being taken off through the middle of the court. We haven't seen him, Lee, coming back on in there, and also maybe Forcadia moving into centre.
Yep.
Has relieved some of it, and New South Wales look a little calmer this quarter.
And he just drives baseline. And great shot. It was just such a smooth technique.
Oh yeah, look, and that's what you get when you're in goal attack. If you can take that front cut, you're so used to doing it. You get into the rhythm. It's a really simple and easy shot for you.
Oh, it has to play
Great
it
cover.
back. Gilbert through the middle and contact against Forcadia. So play will be resumed outside. And again, here's this little jam and Stu Burton on the ball.
Look, I'd like to see McPherson not necessarily turn himself back onto the outside of the circle. I don't know how you feel about it. Well, even when he has the ball, he turns towards the outside of the circle, and I think that's the point in which Jerome Gilbert gets opened up.
Yep.
And that ball can go straight into the posts. I think the turning really early just doesn't allow for it to happen, and Jerome's done such a good job in opening up the space.
That's so unfortunate from Nichols. He did everything right. Just collected the contact on the way through. Looks like Connor Rawlings re-enters the game. So let's see what this change-up happens for their front line. He'll be up against Liam Forcadilla. So, pretty evenly matched in terms of speed.
Yep.
Rawlings has had a lot to deal with the physicality from a lot of the teams. And called for the contact. And New South Wales ball on the goal line. What I really enjoy about New South Wales is that the game is still within reach right now. So it's only 7. So if they score here, they're a shot in. And just like that, back to within 6.
Smart move. It has the speed to get around the outside of the circle so quickly then, and it really, West Coast Thunder focused on what Stahilski's doing and, just opened up the circle.
And Mitch Persuff. McPherson loses. Nicholson puts on the afterburners.
Yeah, very pretty netball there from the West Coast Thunder. Just able to open up the space, drive straight into the post. Effective.
Oh, yeah, all 4 defenders actually having a go at different areas of the court then in second phase. And Lee Todua does enough to get the stop.
But it's Lee Todua on the ball that's gone into Stahilski that's caused the damage there, able to get the turnover. And that's a really important matchup, I think, for West Coast Thunder to think about as they go forward in the championship as well.
And when McPherson comes around the front, they've almost turned the defenders inside out because as he came around, Jerome went back to post. Rawlings, Gilbert out. They're happy to go, to play it patiently. So good build up here from the lads in the west. Rawlings hitting circle edge. Screen set. And attacks the post is McPherson. Gets another goal to add to his tally. So it's 42 plays 33.
It's now out to 9 goals as well. A pretty safe margin with 3 minutes to go. Oh.
West Coast Thunder have really had to earn this match, though.
Oh, very much so.
There have been patches where that's sort of mini momentum swings, where New South have really sort of got a bit of a flow on. And that was just due to unforced errors on West Coast's behalf. So they just need to tidy up a couple of things as they enter the second round. And Lee tries to collect Lee Todua, but they're Australian men's teammates. So
yeah, I think that had something to do with the non-reaction that came out of Lee Todua as well, knowing who it was that just gave you a little bit of a nudge.
Yep. So Rabuku comes on just in the background, getting some perspiration off the court. It's been a fantastic game by the West Coast Thunder, though. They have taken opportunities, though, when they have been presented.
Yeah, I think that, if I was Lorraine, I'd be really happy with what it is that they've been able to put out throughout most of the match and keep off the New South Wales pressure as well.
So contact high in the circle from Nikolic. Better planting by Gilbert then. You could really see his space that he was demanding.
Yeah, I think he also set himself up into a good spot that if Nicholson did change the side, he was then able just to flick it himself around, and that would have opened up a second angle that would have been easy to find too.
Oh, Lee. And loose ball grab.
Good read.
And Mather just hits the deck but gets himself back up. He just asked for the towel. He did hit the deck, so player safety is paramount here at the Champs. We've had a couple of ACL injuries already. So
and they're never fun.
Never fun. So, we want to make sure that our players, especially at the pinnacle in this division, we want to make sure that they've got the best courts available. Stahilski scores another goal, so that's the 34th goal for New South Wales. And Gilbard well out of the circle. Rawlings, who does he connect to? Finds Purser in the pocket. What can the shooters do to create some space for themselves? Good hands over pressure from Forcadia. Parallel pass. And Rawlings takes that strong cross-court drive and really has that strong contact with Forcadia. Allows Purser to take the pass. It's outside the circle. Nicholas,
it's not you.
Yeah, doesn't realise it's actually Liam, his teammate. So 30 seconds left to play. Smart by Rawlings to try and draw the contact and just take time down. And Jermich. And his Stahilski gets another one. So 35 plays 45. So 10-goal lead. And stepping call, Not enough time to probably get it to post. They probably will try, though. And next hip goes long. Can he get it up? Not on the last buzzer. The buzzer beats him. So the home state, West Coast Thunder, winning by 10 goals, 45 plays at 35. Dan, what are your final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, look, I think nice and steady from West Coast Thunder. You know, I think that when they can find the space, most teams are going to struggle to stop them. And they were able to do that tonight, open themselves up and get off the body. They are probably slightly smaller framed or shorter, so they really need to make sure that happens. It allows the umpires to make decisions that go in their favour. And they were able to do that. I think they extended the lead out tonight purely because, you know, the spacing that Colin Rawlings was able to find, but also Dylan McPherson in that quarter got himself down the court and showed the gap or the space that was there. Also probably allowed for the rest of the mid-court to drive the ball through the court instead of him doing the work. I think that was really the difference. They took Nexip's physicality out of the game, and in fact it probably went the other way, and then it became really quite evident that his physicality was constant on court but not often enough to get turnover ball. You know, for New South Wales, I'd be trying to get the matchup of on Dan Cools and not on Draven to find Stahilski under the post. I think that's going to be a really important one for them moving forward. Not to let a coach know what their role is, but I think it was really evident that you could find the ball into the post when you got the mismatch and got yourself on Dan Cools, whereas the turnovers for New South Wales, I think, came with Draven in the back and able to get some reach on it. So something there for New South Wales to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't mind the game that New South Wales played. I think they were probably just outplayed in certain areas of the court in terms of who they were targeting. I think definitely with Nexip getting called out of play quite often in tonight's match in comparison to his earlier games, really took him out of the play, and he's a key feature in that back three setup. So
he delays the entry into the circle, so that physicality can actually do the work for the defenders that are in behind it. Not when it doesn't cause a penalty, it means that mid-court is not free and the goalers have to come up and help out further up the court. I don't think that happened tonight. It was either out of play or we just found rulings or being free and the ball moved through, and it really made that hard for the defensive end to stop it. I mean, it was a pretty good defenders game in general. Yeah. It was low scoring.
Absolutely it was. So West Coast Thunder were just finishing off their cheers, and as we close out the day here, so it's day 3 of the championships, West Coast Thunder winning their matchup tonight, so they will remain on the top of the ladder. So stay with us. We're back live 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for day 4 of the championships match. So we will see you in the morning. Good evening.